it's fine.
This is people are concerned about.
No, this is. I mean, this is why we do. This is why we homeschool. This is why we started and felt the need to homestead, to live a more simple agrarian lifestyle. So for one, to raise the men, to then find the women. And here's the other thing.
Real men too.
Yeah, real men, right?
Yeah.
That'll
that
find.
gonna curl up in a ball and cry.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and then
because you use the wrong pronoun.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I'm very old school, and I'm probably way too old school for some people, you know, as patriarchal, like we're not
You're never too old school.
complementarian or egalitarian, you know, and so I'm looking for other patriarchal men that have raised girls, you know, and so that's what we're looking for, to in a very traditional way hope to find families that can come together so that our men that we raise can find biblical, godly women that want to fulfill their design role. And, you know,
God-given role.
It's strange we have to talk about gender roles, you know,
sad.
because that used to be assumed. It used to be biological. It used to be scientific. But I mean, now it's subjective, I guess. But
But yeah, I mean, you're definitely gonna get some pushback just for even using the term.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure you get that already.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of women watching also who are saying, well, wait a minute.
well, they all went to
I don't
government
want to be
schools.
the home mom.
I do. I understand.
What about dad homeschooling?
Well, I mean, I know dads that do that, and that is an option. But here's the thing: if we do not return to a real traditional order, you know, look at how we got here, right, and how we had the freedoms that we had, and we can't. There's no way that, well, with technology, you know, we'll be able to live on the frontier and create freedom and create abundance, right? But deny and reject gender roles. And like I said, I know for most people, when they first hear that, maybe if you listen to it a couple times, it may or may not start making sense to you, but it is it's cognitive dissonance. It's jarring for them because of feminism and what feminism has done with, you know, government indoctrination, with Hollywood and all these different things. I mean, you're just getting like crushed with it, you know, in college, and you need to get a good education so you can get a good job and dual income, no kids. And, you know, there's no gold standards. We need more buying power. Oh, we need to tax a husband and the wife. So she's got to get out there. Okay, Sally Steamfitter, you're doing it so we can win the war. We're going to beat the Nazis, you know?
Right.
And now here we are.
Well, and now the culture war is actually, they despise women and motherhood.
Exactly.
So now even the feminists are finding themselves attacked by the cultists, the left-wing cultists. But let me ask you, does your wife ever go on camera?
Yeah. Oh, she would love to.
She has
be
her
on
own
camera.
channel.
Well, bring her in.
Yeah,
here. Let's get her in here right now.
Sure.
Can she just come in and join you?
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Okay, Faith, are you back there? You want to come join us? There's too much testosterone here.
She's more
on
intelligent than I am.
So here we go. We're going. Okay. All right. So welcome, Faith.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've been talking about you. I don't know if you could hear.
Yeah, I could hear a little bit.
Okay. So what we've been talking about is, you know, gender roles in the family and sustainability of families and homeschooling and everything. And I felt like we should invite you on here to talk about what's your experience with the family and raising your 6 kids and all of this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so my thoughts are I just feel totally blessed, 100%, that I'm able to stay home. I don't feel like it's been a burden, or I don't know. I just feel very blessed. I don't want to say privileged these days because that carries connotation, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, super blessed. Is it easy? No. I mean, I did work. We both went to college. We both worked. We did the career thing. We did the dual income thing.
Oh, you
we
did
did
that,
the high five as one passes out the door, and
Right.
whoever gets home first
done
gets to make dinner. And we did all of that.
Yep.
And so we just made a decision that, okay, we did that for a period of time, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to continue to do that. So it's going to require sacrifice. But I just kind of took on the challenge of being home, of being a stay-at-home mom as a career. Like I looked at it with as a challenge. Like, okay, how can I do this thing? How can I do it really, really well?
So do you feel like being able to be with your sons and daughter is worth more than a career paycheck?
Oh my, so much more, so much more. And I think as you get older, it's different in your 20s and maybe even early 30s, but as you get older, you just realize how precious time is and how fast those years go by. And you just want to slow it down. And you can't. That's the saddest thing. You see your little ones growing up and your big ones are grown. And you're like, I wish I could slow this down, but I can't. So it's like you just enjoy it more. Not that the days or the moments might not be challenging or difficult. I mean, sure, it's easier to have an empty house and, put them on the school bus and say, see you at 4:00. But the blessings that come with being there all during the day.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's,
Well, because then it's your family. I mean, rather than government school
Yeah.
propaganda. Now, do you watch any TV in your household?
Oh, they watch a lot of Western movies.
Western movies?
Yes.
Lots. I think
Like really old stuff.
really
Old
old.
stuff. The new stuff's garbage, but
Yeah.
the old stuff's good.
Yeah.
What, like classic Clint Eastwood or older?
No, like old stuff, like
John Wayne stuff?
Lots of
like pre-Bonanza,
Yeah.
like Bonanza.
Wow.
And,
yeah, like Bonanza and before
And
that.
before
So
that, yeah.
anything like Lone Ranger,
Stuff that's just,
Roy Rogers.
it's going to be known as hate speech real soon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so we're gonna have to start downloading this stuff and hoarding it.
Yeah, they'll edit it.
yeah. But they love watching that. And then anything else is like tech stuff.
But we don't have any cable TV in the house.
No.
Yeah.
No propaganda like that. But we do
No.
watch YouTube and things like that
Yeah.
for educational purposes
and
stuff like that.
current event stuff.
Current events.
Yes,
Like they were
we're
all
up to
up,
speed.
Yep.
on the submarine.
And
just
what's your household rule about mobile devices?
So Matt has a phone. When he turned 16 and he was able to drive, he got a phone.
Yep.
But it's
True-me phone.
True.
True-me?
So it's not a smartphone. It's got
Right.
GPS and he can text
Texting.
and talk.
That's
Right.
it.
And he can take pictures. But
Yep.
other than that, my take on any type of mobile device
It has no internet on it whatsoever.
until you become your own man with your own house, like that's when
Right.
and in my opinion, this is going to sound super ancient, but like my daughter, when her husband, when she gets married and if her husband says she can get a smartphone, I'm cool with that, but she don't have one either.
she might have a True-me phone.
Yeah, she'll have a
True-me
True-me phone.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
She can have one.
But it's fascinating to hear you say that because today's kids grow up so much on their phones.
Yeah.
Even if they're sitting physically and having dinner with their own parents, they're just here.
Yeah.
They're not even present,
Right.
and their whole world is consumed through that phone because it's very socially driven.
Right.
And it's a total distraction.
Yeah.
Even in schools.
Yeah, and if
Absolutely.
it's not the smartphones, it's the video games,
Yeah.
and they're probably
Yeah.
worse. And now we have generational. Now we have fathers. I work with men. I use that term loosely. I work with men that have children, right? And they go home after work, and that's their quality time is World of Warcraft or
Really?
Call of Duty.
Really?
And I mean, no, this is not the exception to the rule. This is inordinately commonplace.
No kidding.
it's-
And playing like Call of Duty with their little kids,
Like
Yeah.
little tiny
five-
kids.
5 and 6 year olds.
Yeah, bad.
I
Isn't
mean,
that kind of a violent video game for such
kind
young
of,
kids?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And it's very commonplace, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what would you say to somebody watching who says that you're anti-technology, let's say?
Oh, wow.
Have you ever heard that?
we are not
Criticism?
anti-technology.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
definitely
We very
not.
Or speak up, Matt.
We
sorry.
very much love technology.
Yeah.
But it's a double-edged sword, 100%. The internet is a double-edged sword. It is one of the most beautiful things that has ever been created is the internet, and we have learned 99% of our skills from YouTube and the internet and different things that we found on there. I've seen other people that they've tried to not use the internet, and we've went over to their farms or their homesteads, and we're like, oh, did you know how you could do this way or that way, or using swales on contour and different things like that, and they were like, oh, I didn't know any of this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like there's like a plethora of knowledge on there.
Right.
But it can be to your downfall too.
So you use videos for learning. I do too.
Yeah. I'm a visual learner. I gotta see it. Like I can't read it in a book necessarily. I need to see it. Show it to me.
Yeah. No, I didn't grow up in the country either. The first time when I had goats and I needed to build a fence, and I was like, how do I build a goat-proof fence? Which is a special skill.
Yeah.
And because they're going to
nobody
test
has.
it. Right. And I was like, how do I build an H-brace? And how do I create tension with an H-brace? And I looked it up online and built it. And then you're hands-on. Then you know how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But what you all are doing also is using the internet then to teach and inspire others.
Yeah.
So I think you're using the internet in the way that it was, like the positive way that it should
Yes,
be used,
definitely.
Yeah.
instead of an addictive.
Correct.
way.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, like,
Yeah, and the only reason I really have a phone is for business and like safety. If I got in a car accident,
right.
and have to call mom, or
Yeah.
if I get kidnapped or something
Yeah.
like that.
Or for your GPS getting
GPS,
around.
yeah, that's the other big one is
know,
GPS. Yeah.
yeah.
But other than that, I really wish I didn't need one.
Are you afraid of getting kidnapped? I mean, you just,
No, I was gonna
No, but normally I'm always there with my 3 other brothers. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm kind of like waiting for the day, like try me.
Yeah, I think the kidnapper would choose somebody a little more vulnerable. Looking, you know what I mean? Yeah. Aren't you wearing a knife too?
I know. No, Buddy's got
Buddy
the
is, Buddy's
No,
always
Buddy's
got
my
a
knife
knife.
guy. He'll pull
Yeah.
out
Buddy's
like
got like 3
8.
knives on him.
And James always has spurs on, so
Yeah.
you just hear the spurs walking into the grocery store. I don't think anybody's gonna mess with him.
If anybody asks you, just tell them you parked your horse outside. Yeah. Okay, but talk about now your business too, because you produce products.
Correct.
And you sell them on your website. Is it TheTexasBoys.com?
The Texas Boys.
TheTexasBoys.com.
Yep.
I just want to give you a chance to do that too, because you got to have revenue to support your lifestyle.
absolutely.
You put a lot of work in. So you brought a couple of items.
Yeah, we
Show us what you have.
produce our own. We have our own coffee line, and it is called the Native Brew. And we have several different types of coffee flavors on there. And we actually have another roaster that we partnered up with too, and he's very, very local to us. And he makes our organic CBD infused coffee and our Lion's Mane coffee.
Ooh,
and
that's a good combo.
They're absolutely incredible. And then we have our locally grown and harvested honey, and it's unvaccinated and it's not pasteurized. So all
What do you mean it's unvaccinated? What do you mean?
yeah, so it doesn't have any of the
bee colonies are
Mr.
not
Nah
treated with that?
stuff in there. So
Okay, and you source that from Texas, across
correct.
Texas?
Yep.
You add anything to the honey?
No, there's no additives
Nothing.
to it.
No
Yeah.
additives. It's 100% raw. And then we have all types of other stuff on our shop. And recently, we're actually getting very much into the cattle operation and business aspect. And we're going to be starting to, well, we already are, selling our own beef. Actually, and
Locally,
locally,
right.
and eventually, possibly, actually shipping out our own beef box too,
And pork.
pork box
And pork,
too.
You know what's doing really well right now? I've talked to some other partners and people I've interviewed. is freeze-dried beef cubes
Really?
of
Okay.
non-mRNA vaccinated cattle. I mean, that's actually going gangbusters right
Yeah.
now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to look at a
Shelf
freeze
stable.
dryer
Sure, yeah.
somewhere in Texas and go in and get it diced up, freeze dry it,
Yeah.
and you put it in number 10 cans. And as you know, we know a few things about how to do that.
Yeah.
But
Just a
if
little-
you need
just a
any
little
advice,
bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
and then you can have long-term storable freeze-dried beef cubes,
Wow.
non-vaccinated cattle.
That would be
That
awesome.
would be-
Yeah, because our
Yeah.
cattle is non-vaccinated and they're out on grass the whole time. Right now they're pasture raised
Yep. And we don't spray our fields with anything,
Right.
any nasty herbicides or government-free fertilizer.
The-
Oh, biosludge?
No
Yeah.
bio
Right, no
sludge,
biosludge.
human
Yeah.
waste.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's already bad enough that there's chemtrails out there.
No kidding. Yeah, some things you can't stop
Right.
falling out of the sky. All right, so right now you focus on coffee and honey.
Coffee, honey, and then we
what
have
else?
our own bulk tea on there.
We sell T-shirts.
We sell-
Oh, Make Orwell Fiction.
Yep.
Yep.
Several
Awesome.
other different
Yeah,
different
and you have
types.
bulk tea.
Bulk tea.
You have candles
candles.
that they do right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
and
the
they're
office.
organic coconut wax candles too, so it's
Okay.
none of the junk getting
Yeah.
into the air.
But
And then we just rolled out a video course on
Yes.
We rolled out a parenting course and a young men's course.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we're really
Is that
excited about that.
it's like a how-to course?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Well-
it's got a workbook and some videos with it. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Just kind of sharing our experience, and helping people, just general ideas, just grace and learning, parenting skills
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Just
Well,
basic.
you're in the right place because with Brighteon here, our network, we now have Brighteon University.
Okay.
And we run every Saturday. We start running a new documentary series.
Okay.
And so we should talk about see if
Great.
maybe we could run your
that would be
parenting series
Yeah,
Yes,
that'd be
that
neat.
would
on the network.
That would be
Sweet.
super
That'd be
great, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the boys have their own course they're launching. Both of our courses are going at the end of the month. We're going to run them for 5 to 6 weeks and then close them up and then, take a break and then
Yeah.
reopen
And then
them
What's that
again.
course about?
But yours is a young men's course.
young men's course. So we just talk about everything.
Yeah.
Just being a young man in the world that we live in and acquiring skills and different things like that. And then also that comes along with the course is a live sit down talk, and they get to sit down with us and we can answer any of their
ask
questions
like
and
a
different things like
consulting
that.
almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like a
Consulting.
private Telegram group.
Like
Yep.
some of these kids coming out of the schools, they do need to learn how to be a man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah, legitly.
Yeah.
Legitly.
Sure. Yeah. And just
And so
life
what we'd
skills.
like to do is sell them some real red meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can start. That's how they start. You eat that first, and then you start watching the videos and doing curls.
Watch some old westerns.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it. No, it's funny because a lot of today's youth they've lost touch with basic skills like how to change a car tire,
That's right.
for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I've said on my podcast several times to people like, everybody in your car, you should have a foot bicycle pump in case you need to pump up your
Yeah.
tire.
Yeah, just in
you
case.
just pop it on there and pump it up.
Yeah.
And the first time I said that, I had people react. They're like, you can't pump up a car with a bicycle tire.
yeah, you can.
A bicycle pump. Like, yeah, how much pressure you think is in those tires? It's only like 35 pounds. I mean, hopefully you have feet that work. But I can't believe that people don't have basic real world skills.
Yeah.
You know?
It's sad.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I like to say a lot of times that Texas raised our boys because, all we did was bring them down here and then just kind of let them go. And I mean, yeah, we were there
controlled
and
way.
in a controlled way,
There were boundaries.
but just
Good amount.
the neighbors, the community,
Correct.
the older
Older
men,
generation.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's who really took you under their wing and
100%.
said like, okay, this is what you do with the cattle. Okay, this is how you run fencing.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
this is how you steer calves, and just all of the things they've just.
Certain thing, a lot of our skills also that when we started meeting our neighbors and stuff, we actually just started turning to them. So instead of rushing to the internet for ideas or solutions, we would just call them up. Now that's normally what we do. Call them up, Like, oh, I wonder how you wire this certain part up. Normally we'll call them up, or, you know, since we're out in the country, we actually had a fuse go out on one of our pickup trucks once, where we were like, oh, I guess we're gonna have to run into town and get a fuse. And we're like, you know what? We got a neighbor right up the road. We can call him and he probably has a fuse. We called him up, he had a fuse, you know?
Yeah.
And different things like that, just having a community and providing a service to them also.
Yes.
You know, so we have tools like a tractor and a sawmill and different things, and just hard work, you know, just us being there on the farm. Our YouTube channel and our businesses that we run on the farm keep us kids on the farm.